Welcome back to another video of Smith's Fishing Outdoors. Today we're doing a tackle talk. We had people ask about crankbaits, so we're going to do some crankbaits.
These are a lot of the crankbaits that we run. We do some mixed trolling. We also do some, ripping and casting with a lot of these crankbaits too. So we'll kind of get into a little bit about what we use during in a season. Especially some of them are situational.
Yeah.
You know, we go to certain places. Like this box right here that I'm starting out with right here
is a Green Bay box.
Is a Green Bay box. So I got one small box. It's got Bagley DB4s. Another good bait. This was a staple back in Pewaukee when I grew up in the days.
Depth Raiders.
Baby Depth Raiders. Jointed are killer on Green Bay. You've gotten some 40 inchers out there on those.
Got some pretty good fish out there.
Monster shads. Another nice one. Bagley Monster Shad. They've kind of revitalized that bait right now, and these things run really true. They got some of the best hooks on them. They're pretty nice.
Yep.
Really sticky. Slammer. The 4-inch rattling slammer. Love it. Nice bait. That one, they run really true.
Yeah,
Bill does a beautiful job. This is the red dragon color, but he's got perch patterns and everything else. I have a perch right here. Of course, got to have a perch in my Green Bay box.
You got to have a perch.
One thing about Green Bay, it's all about the perch sometimes.
You got to have multiple colors.
But I know some, in my Green Bay box here, I got some purples. So I know there's been some great big fish caught on 7-inch purples.
I saw you throwing that. I saw you trolling that last year. Why would you troll that?
Troll that one?
Yeah.
I mean, it really matches the gizzard shad and everything that's in there.
So you're just trying to match the food source.
Exactly, and they got a nice tight wobble. Some got a little wider wobble.
Yeah.
Wobbles on a crankbait can make a difference whether you get bit or not. They really can. So you got to figure out what they want. But yeah, I use this box around here, keep it in my boat, but because our local fish will eat these too, and especially like some of these 7-inch slammers, I can run these 20 feet back at about 3.8 to 4.2 miles an hour. They get eaten. They're good. So their nice thing is they're easy to make adjustments. You got a little bit of a wire coming out the nose, and you can just bend it with the pliers right or left just real quick, and to make them run really true. So that's what's nice about them. So keep a small box like this. This is in my opinion, Green Bay.
Green Bay, yep.
And local Wisconsin.
Too, yeah.
But I like this box. I use this one a lot.
Yep.
And
you do use it a lot. Catch a lot of fish on those baits.
On these baits right here. Yep. Okay. We got that one right there. Then let's get into
the next box.
Some of our trolling baits that we like to short line troll.
Yes.
And I think short line trolling is some of the
it's fun.
It's the most funnest, if you want to say.
It's the most funnest.
It's the most fun. I mean, because they will jump out of the water.
If they don't jump, then I don't know.
They jump out of the water before the rod clicker goes off.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And I'm talking short line. I'm talking using 9-foot trolling rods.
9-foot trolling rods.
I use Chaos Assault trolling rods.
Yep.
And the bait is less than the length of the rod.
Yeah.
So we're 8 feet out.
Yeah.
And baits that work really good for that are
shallow invaders.
Shallow invaders work really good for that. Anything that 8 foot to 20 foot back, love the shallow invader. Walks real nice.
I think this is that ice perch color.
Yep, that's ice perch. That's
ice perch.
Yeah. So that's a custom color. I love it.
My favorite color.
Wileys. Wileys. If you can get your hands on some Wileys. Now the interesting thing about Wiley crankbaits is they run really good about 4 to 5 feet.
Yep.
About 20 feet back, 18, 20 feet back. They actually run better fast. So if you run them in the 3s, I don't seem like I get hit. When you run them in the 4s to 5s, they start walking. So instead of just going like this, they go and they start walking.
Yeah.
That's when they get eaten. So
that is when they get eaten.
Wileys are really good. Use them a lot.
I know I've caught a lot of fish trolling
on the Wileys.
Even in our area.
Yep, exactly. And Believers. They're a good bait. Not as fast. You get over that 3/8 and they'll start blowing out. You know, you really want to run your Believers in the 3s.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a good bait. You want to troll right towards sunset or something. Just whatever.
Pretty much every Believer you have looks like it has teeth marks in it.
They're all chewed out. Yes. But one thing too is, you know, you can see that little bit of cork right there. I had drilled those out and I put 50 caliber musket balls in these. And that was kind of a trick that we used long ago. And I was running these in Green Bay back in early 2000, 2001, 2003. And that 50 cal and that dark water, that was money.
Really?
That was money. That was before you were born.
Yep.
I mean, we had a 14 fish day in the Fox River. A lot of them were unbelievers.
That's a lot of muskies.
It was good. That was money back then. So same baits. In fact, it was this one and that one too. You know.
I mean, they still work.
Yep. But that still work. So, you know, your bread and butter out on Green Bay is you got to have the shallow shad wrap.
Yep.
These work really good.
Shad wrap.
They run really nice. They do.
Yeah.
And hooking percentage is good. You know, not only casting, but the Booker shallow raider.
Shallow raider, yep.
We do really well. It's actually a really good, like, right at dusk night bait for me too. But it's a nice crankbait, pretty versatile crankbait. You work in the weeds. You can also troll it. She'll do 3.5. That's where it seems like it runs its best. So, slammer drop belly. You got your first ever muskie when you were 3 years old.
I don't even remember that.
3 years old on a slammer drop belly.
Probably that one.
I remember 34. No, it's not. I think it was a perch or something. But
perch. Of course, it's a perch.
But yeah, these run really nice. Also, another good bait out in Green Bay and locally too. So, got it. It's fun to, you know. We're fortunate in Wisconsin to be able to run 3 lines apiece.
3 lines apiece, yeah.
So I like to run 2 shorts and 2 longs. So I run 2 boards and 2 shorts.
Yeah.
I mean, we catch the majority of our fish casting in a year. I admit it. I mean, majority of our fish are casting. But, you know, there's a time to troll and there's a time to cast. And
there's got to be a time.
Especially when you want to, you know, learn new structure, checking out a new lake or a lot of different things. Trolling is a great option.
Yeah, like a lot of times we'll just troll, we'll put some lines in, and when we're checking out a new lake, we'll just map out the area and see what there is. Maybe if there's a weed flood or something.
But then there's lakes like Green Bay. You know, if you ain't getting them on in the weed beds, you're going to go out in late September and October, you're going to troll them.
You got to troll.
And, you know, that's just the way it is. You can get 9 lines out there and just go. And but around here, I mean, I can run 9 lines, but 4 seems to be my comfort window. I really like running 4. So, seems like it's, you know, especially dealing with, you know, the snags and everything else. You know, because
we have a lot of wood and stuff.
And I troll a lot of flowages. And if you're not getting snags, you're not getting fish.
We get snagged a lot running 4 rods.
Because if you're not getting snags, you're not getting fish.
Yeah.
The fish, that's simply it.
You're not running the right areas.
Yep. So having a chain to get them out is kind of a must.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
you don't want to.
That's kind of a box I got from going around here. Love that box. Some other ones that, you know, you mix into the 8-inch jakes.
8-inch.
For years, this was a money bait for me. I caught this bait's probably got 30 muskies on it. This old orange tiger. I actually found this fishing in Lake Kincaid back in the mid-90s. I found it when we were fishing it. It probably belonged to Chad Kane. It probably did. No, he used to throw them a lot back then. But this one runs really good. It still runs good today, but
I know that walleye one you got in your hand. I've caught a fair number of fish on that one.
You've caught a fair number of that on that one too. So yeah, 8-inch jakes will get you in that, you know, 4 to 4.2. They run really good, so they got a nice rattle to them. Definitely a good bait to run.
Definitely.
So many to choose from. I think on
got a lot of
might
baits.
get more into the casting.
Casting?
I got another one of another box I keep trolling. I got more Wileys.
More Wileys and a couple more Believers.
Some little Ernies too.
Yeah.
Little Ernies, they run prop wash really nice.
Yeah.
Got a nice little rattle to them. It's fun when you just experiment. I got some smaller Believers.
Yeah.
Like that. These don't go much more than about 3.2, but I've caught fish on these smaller Believers. You know, especially when you're prop wash trolling, you're running that.
Yeah.
4 feet of water.
That's kind of a purge color. I can tell you caught fish on it.
Yeah. You know. Some others. Slammer baits in there and stuff. That I keep a bunch of boxes in there in the boat at all times on those. And let's get into casting. And some baits that I like to cast with are a Grandma. That was one of the newer Grandmas, the bent lip like that. A little bit different than the older M9s.
Yeah, I can notice that one's a little bit longer and a little bit bent.
But these, I mean, you can walk these back to the boat, boom, boom, sideways. I mean, it's very similar to like the bass cranks you've been using lately.
Bass cranks and stuff.
They work really good. And you're on Lake of the Woods or Minnesota, and I mean, these are money type crankbaits.
Yeah.
Another one that I like for that is a 10-inch slammer.
10-inch slammer, yep.
Yep. And this one's got a 50-incher from Lake of the Woods on it. 51 incher. Yep. And it's beat. It's beat up. It's seen every rock pile it's been in. This is the red dragon color. Love it. I love this bait. Yeah. So
I can tell you use that bait a little bit.
Yep, exactly. So fun crankbaits. I just got some this at the last Wausau show.
These things are sweet.
There's a guy.
BigGuyBaits.
BigGuyBaits, exactly.
BigGuyBaits.
And it's Babe Campbell makes a crankbait. Big
crankbait hooks always get stuck together.
They all get stuck together, exactly.
It always happens.
I bought a couple 9s and a couple 8s, and these are, I think these are going to be money here.
I think we're going to catch some pretty...
Not I'm going to hook myself. One of the two.
One of the two.
Here's the 9.
I think this is Sucker, I think. Really, really pretty pattern.
He does a really nice job on his colors. It's a square lip bait. They suspend, they just hang.
Yep.
I think they're going to be just great. So there's these two here. And then I got the 8s and kind of a little more of a crappie color.
Crappie pipe.
I think Babe did a wonderful job on this one. And this one's called Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch.
That's what it's called. And
because it's like sucker
I'm actually going to throw this one on Green Bay too.
It looks like sucker and fruit punch.
Exactly. So can't wait to throw them this year.
Yep. Definitely.
Seen really good results from my friends on those last year, so I had to get a couple. When it comes to slammers, as far as some of your twitching, you got your plastic slammers.
Plastic ones, yep.
Plastic 8-inchers. And they'll hang a little bit more. I got a 50 on Mille Lacs on a plastic slammer, 8-incher, and they'll hang. And I really like that. It's just a really slow rise like that. There's a time for that. And then you got to get into some wooden ones. They're hard to find. And I still got some, but these are some older 8-inch wooden ones right here.
Yep.
And a lot of my sucker colors, walleye colors, or whatever. I really like these. I mean, you get into October and you just twitch, and then just let it rise.
Yeah.
The last 2-3 feet up to the boat, like a death pause, and they just crush it. They just come out.
Yeah.
They come out of nowhere. They don't even see these fish follow.
Yeah, we saw. I remember one day I was twitching this one, and I had like, I missed like 3 fish, and I caught like 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a couple follows. It was crazy.
There's another 10-incher. I just love this pattern. I'll show it to you. We showed just like that red dragon. This one's got fish on Lake of the Woods too.
Yeah.
So
pretty
fun
pattern.
Fun patterns. Crankbaits altogether are fun.
They're fun.
Exactly.
Besides the hooks.
You know, Custom X from Chaos. They make a really nice crankbait too. You've been with Robbie where he caught some down in Madison and on that.
Yep.
And you know, they twitch really, really nicely.
Twitch really well.
Exactly.
Really, really well.
You know, check those out. And then there's also the 6-inch versions of the slammer.
Oh, yeah.
Used to live on these.
Ooh, that color's kind of
sweet.
sweet.
Years ago, I used to guide on Pewaukee Lake back in the 90s. A lot of people remember me from back then. And this was bread and butter.
Yeah.
I think you know, you weren't around, of course, but
no.
you were just a thought. But 6-inch golden shiner slammer,
yeah,
I think was their main forage back then. I mean, and I hear it is today. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And I look around the garage, I see multiple sizes of that color.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that.
Love that golden shiner. Good bait. Okay. What else do we got here?
What else do we got?
Depth raiders.
Depth raiders.
I like jointed depth raiders, and
Lip them.
I love to cast them. I love to cast them on rock piles and rock points up on Lake of the Woods.
Lake of the Woods, yep.
Exactly. Around here too. This one's really chewed up. They troll really nice. You know, 3.5. Yeah, nice rattle too. A really good bread and butter. They did. You know, Muskie Tackle is Joe Booker and them did a wonderful job on that bait years ago, and I always got to keep in the boat.
Always got to throw them.
And you know, there's times where you know we're throwing bucktails at night or doing whatever, and this is like I pull them out, and run a crankbait, and it's one of those things that just.
I remember one of the first years I was in Canada. You pulled up to the rock reef. You pulled out that, take a couple casts. Oh, there's a 48.
Yep.
I'm like, whoa.
Exactly. You know, and doing that where you stair step them.
Yeah,
coming
I was
up
like,
along the boat.
Where do you get that bait?
Yeah. You know. So, now let's get into the big
boys.
baits.
Go big or go home.
You know, when you go on trips or go over to Minnesota or do whatever, big deep diving crankbaits like this match your Tulabee type patterns. This one's runs really good in that 3, 4, 5 miles an hour. I can't get it to blow out. Really good bait. It's a drop belly slammer.
Yeah. Big baits.
Big baits. And then hang on to these 12s right here.
You just handed me 12s.
Another one. This one's been just an awesome bait too. I like that. And bigger, wider wobble, but that's fall fishing. You know, you're running about 3 miles an hour.
Yep.
You know, one thing I like to do, you can run 12s like this, or you can even put it on a 12. But look how much bigger putting that tail on the back of a slammer. This is a 12-inch slammer, and this is a 10-inch slammer, and they're both got the profile. Now, if you put that tail on a 12, you got a profile of a 14.
Yeah.
And
you make that bait 2 inches bigger.
Exactly. These 12s really hard to twitch. I mean, it's a lot of bait. That's when it starts to get very
It's a lot of bait.
10s I absolutely love to twitch. The 12s are my trolling baits, and
you got another that golden shiner.
They're built well. Got really heavy hooks on them and everything. And got it in golden shiner. Imagine that.
Golden shiner, yeah, imagine that.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
I've got some experimentals.
Oh my.
This is a wood one, and this other one is, I believe, wood one too. This one's got a square lip, and one's got a round lip. I've caught fish on both these. And these are 16-inch slammers.
I just look at those, and I'm like, How do you even use those baits?
I pulled this. I was with Bob Benson one time on Vermillion, and I pulled this one out. And he's like, "We gotta run that." We ran that at night trolling in November, and crunch right at dart. Yeah,
big one.
Upper 40s.
It's
yeah.
not bad.
So, but it's a lot of bait when you see a T-bone around this thing, you know.
Yeah, you better expect it's not gonna be low 30s.
Exactly. So, these are fun.
Yeah.
Big baits.
Minnesota
baits. This one, a buddy of mine bet me, and I casted this one on Lake Minnetonka.
That must have sucked.
It wasn't easy. I caught a 41-incher in Lake Minnetonka on a 16-inch lammer casting.
Casting?
Yes. So.
Did you have a shoulder after that?
I don't know. I actually put it away after I caught a fish. It was a lot of work. So.
Not put it away.
Big baits. You're not gonna be running those all the time.
Some trolling baits.
Trolling baits, speed trolling baits.
Speed trolling.
You got your Mattlocks.
Mattlocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
These things are absolutely dynamite. Big profile, run really fast. Not every one of them runs true. That's the neat thing about it too.
It's a neat thing.
You know.
One bait could be a little bit smaller.
Both these run completely different, but they both catch fish.
Yeah.
So, I love the Mattlocks. They're very versatile. Simple colors. I think there's a ton of colors on those.
I mean, this one's really pretty.
You know, they're expensive, but they really run nice, and and it's kind of like a crankbait, or if you were running a bass chatterbait. I mean, there's knockoffs, and then
there's knockoffs and the best brands. Like there's some baits that were $15, but the $9 ones you can't catch fish on, but you catch them on the $15 ones.
Exactly. So there's something about
doesn't make sense.
Something about it, but these work really good.
The
not a secret out there but the Mattlocks run good. You know, we've been playing around also on some of these short, especially for shoreline trolling. We love the two. This is a J-bow. You see him, you can contact this guy. He's down from Madison.
Yeah.
But he makes a beautiful bait.
And then we got truckers.
The truckers.
Beautiful colors.
I think a 6-inch J-bow and a 5-inch J-bow.
Yep.
And we've had success on both these.
We got another trucker in there too.
Another trucker, yep. And they really got a lot of thump. They're a nice bait in that short. You want to run in that short packaging. I don't troll deep often. I really don't.
No.
A lot of my trolling depths is 15 feet and up.
Because we have a lot of flowages in our area, and they're not.
Yeah, but
we don't troll.
I don't like to get that anything really even deeper
Yeah.
than that, even on lakes and stuff like that. But I really love to troll that 4 to 7 foot of water.
Oh,
That's money, and one thing you need to understand on trolling, that people go, oh, trolling's boring, trolling's this or whatever like that.
it catches fish though.
It does, and you have to have the mindset
Yeah.
that you have to troll the prime times.
Yeah.
You know, the prime times you would cast is also the prime times you're going to catch them trolling.
And sometimes you might catch a bigger fish that's sitting off the weed flat that you might catch trolling.
There might be 30-inch muskies in the weed beds, and there's the 40s and 48s are hanging just outside, especially in mid-June or whatever. Yeah. And it gets your bait in front of them. So don't, don't really force yourself, but make it a thing. If you want to go, today I'm going to go fish this lake and I'm going to troll for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Set out a good run and do it right.
Yep.
And you will find that you're going to get success.
Yeah.
I truly, truly believe in that.
If you find the right runs with the right amount of bait and the right amount of structure.
Exactly. And you hit it right on runs.
Yep.
There's certain places that you've been with.
Yeah.
We literally will run a mile.
Yeah, we'll run a mile.
We got confidence in some of those zones that's where we catch fish trolling. Yeah. So we'll troll a mile down that stretch. Then maybe we'll go back to casting, or we come back through and we'll troll a mile down that stretch again, or do whatever. Using it as a tool to effectively fish certain areas.
Yeah.
And trolling gets a down, down, but I tell you, the guys out east, they catch a ton of fish on trolling.
They catch a lot.
They are the masters of trolling out there, and you've seen it in Musky's Inc. I mean, you were fortunate last year to win the Musky's Inc. casting.
Yep.
Because you were, the juniors division in Musky's Inc. is 1,700. And you were a casting kid. You learned how to do that. There's a lot of kids that will catch 40, 50 muskies in some years.
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, trolling. And they get on Lake St. Clair and they just clean house with a lot of lines out there. And it's a successful way of catching a lot of fish.
Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Really, really is.
Something to try this next year. Rods, like I said, the 9 foot, the 8 foot 6 Chaos assault sticks are the best. They really are good. They're good versatile sucker rods and everything else too in the fall, but they work really good. As far as reels, there's the Daiwa makes a really good one. Shimano, theirs is really expensive and it runs really smooth. But
that's my favorite reel right there for trolling though.
But they're quite expensive. But we got one, so we go troll. When I was trolling in Minnesota with one rod, I always wanted the best reel on it. So especially But,
you're not gonna. Because some
of the Daiwa AccuDepths are really good. Get those. They're $85 to $100 reels.
It's not bad.
Line counters are key. Otherwise, if you don't have line counters, you can count passes.
Yeah.
And measure the pass as the level line goes across. And I used to do that with pens years ago, and it was 8 feet a pass.
Yeah.
And so you'd count your passes and go, okay, I've got 36 feet back there, or whatever. You know what I mean?
That's pretty interesting.
So, there's different ways of skinning a cat.
I just came up, we got line counters.
Line counters made it a lot easier. There's no doubt. So, but buying good reels, the line counters like to burn out on the cheaper reels.
Yeah.
And the gears don't skimp on a trolling reel. I would spend minimum of $80 on a trolling reel. So, okay.
Okay, well, we got some more slammers.
Yeah, that one's a Superman color. It was an old color from the 90s.
Got a little glitter on the back and little red on the
bottom.
bottom.
Came out with that color, caught a lot of fish on it.
Looks like it's caught a lot of fish.
Yep.
We got a few more slammers in here, and that's
the Jakes are good.
Jakes and stuff.
Again, they run like 3.5.
This color just caught my eye. If I can get it out.
All these crankbaits are good for that. They're fun.
Except don't get the hook in your eye.
Yep. There's another one with a tail.
Yeah.
But
that
one was exclusively made. Slammer was making that for over in Minnesota, and
that's a pretty color.
That was a good Tulabee hatch color.
Oh, I bet. Yep. Put that tail on the puts it a little bit.
Look, there's a lot of these crankbaits that I don't use until I get to a situation. And we like to move around. And I really like, if you got to challenge yourself this year, hook your boat on your back of your truck and drive 7-8 hours. Put yourself in a lake, say you drive out to Lake St. Clair, or you drive out to Vermillion or whatever, where there's a trolling bite going on in June or whatever. Challenge yourself. Put yourself, I'm going to go troll for 3 days. You will learn more and make yourself a better angler.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to do the challenge. I love to challenge things out.
It's really fun.
And, sometimes you're successful, sometimes you're not, but you always come away with the knowledge.
And even seeing new water. It's pretty fun doing that too.
Exactly. So,
as we said in the last video, seeing new water kind of helps. Maybe you catch new fish or bigger fish or something,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you find a new lake that you haven't done. Troll on it this time.
Exactly. Cast it last time, troll on it this time.
Yep, troll on it this time.
Find the pattern. You're going to find a niche and hopefully you're successful on it. So.
Yep. Well, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next adventure.